In today's video, I'm going to be doing 4 easy upgrades for your Teck deck. Now, I know that when you've got a Teck deck, it's really hard to get that professional feel out of it because you just know for a fact that it's not as good as normal, professional fingerboards. But there are some easy upgrades that you can get that are not very expensive and will be much more helpful and, just give you a much better feel while you're fingerboarding with a cheaper option, the Teck deck. So first off, once you've got your Teck deck, you're going to want to check, has your Teck deck got these white-ish bushings that are very hard, or has your Teck deck got this kind of silvery plate underneath your screw? If your Teck deck has got white bushings, then you're going to want to go to your local shop and you're going to want to go and purchase a Teck deck that is classed as a 32mm Teck deck, which is wider than the Teck deck that is the older model. Okay, so the first life hack for today is actually quite an interesting one because I don't see many people doing it, although it's really easy, really cheap. It's actually grip tape. Now, as you'll see with your Teck deck, once you get your Teck deck, you'll have this sandpaper style grip tape, and you might not know at the start, but after a week of using it, it's going to wear down really, really easily, and it will just be not grippy, and you'll get really sore fingers from using it. So if you just go onto your local fingerboard shop, for example, in the UK, you've got the Norwood Project, you've got Skull Fingerboards, you've got a bunch of UK brands, or any brand in which country you're in. And you can go onto that website and search up grip tape, and they'll bound to be foam grip tape. You're probably like, well, foam tape, grip tape, what's the difference? Well, foam tape is kind of self-explanatory. It's foam instead of sandpaper kind of style grip, which gives you much more grip, and it's just much easier to use, and it wears in quicker. It's just much more helpful to use. Now for the next upgrade, well, people don't really talk about this upgrade that often, but when they do, it's like, oh yeah, I really need to do this. Well, if you look on your Teck deck closely, you'll realise that it probably has this gold-ish nut that you use to tighten up the wheels on the trucks, and it's actually classed as just a normal nut. Now, if you realise in fingerboarding and watch some fingerboarding videos and stuff like that, you'll see that fingerboarders have this thing called lock nuts. Now, the difference is, with a lock nut, there's plastic seal inside the nut which stops it from undoing itself. And you'll realise with Teck decks that they don't have lock nuts because it's a cheap alternative. So if you just go onto your local website or Amazon, again, you can get them for literally, I think it's like £1, maybe a bit cheaper actually. Yeah, you can just get them really cheap off some websites, and they will do the world a difference because they're so easy to tighten up, and they're just so much more helpful with loose wheels and loose trucks. Instead of losing your wheel and losing your truck nuts, you have nuts that are going to stay on there for a very long time. Now for the next upgrade, you're actually going to be quite surprised by this because you'll probably think, oh no, that's way too expensive. But actually no. Now I'm talking about wheels. If you look on your Teck deck wheels, you'll realise that it's plastic and there's no bearings in it. But if you look at fingerboard wheels, you'll realise that it's not always plastic. It's usually urethane, which is used on skateboard wheels, or some sort of really expensive plastic. And it's also got tiny little bearings inside it. Now you're probably like, oh, that costs a lot of money, which it does. But if you go onto your local fingerboard website or Amazon, you'll realise that you can actually buy these wheels called CNC bearing wheels. Now, these obviously are not anywhere near the best wheels you can get for fingerboarding, but they are probably the cheapest bearing wheels you can get, and they also feel a bit like Teck deck wheels. They've just got bearings in them, so they feel much smoother. Now, in my opinion, that's so much more helpful because instead of just riding with no bearings, you've got bearings, and also it feels just like a normal Teck deck wheel. And they're also really, really cheap. You could probably get a pair for $8 US, which they're usually $30 US. So yeah, there you go. That's a comparison. So once you've got them, you just pop them on your Teck deck, and your Teck deck is going to be feeling really nice by now. If you've got foam grip tape and bearing wheels, it's going to almost feel like a professional fingerboard. It's going to be pretty high up there. Now, for the last upgrade, you're probably going to think you don't need this. And in my opinion, if you was really looking to go on a really low budget, you wouldn't need this. But I'm talking about the bushings. Now, you might notice that if you've got a 32mm Teck deck, which is the newer model, that the bushings are actually not too bad. But when you start using them a bit longer, you realise that they fall apart really easily, and they're just not very good for long time usage. So all you have to do, again, is go onto your local fingerboard shop or Amazon and look on their websites, and there'll probably be some bushings on there for around £5-ish or $6 US. And that's a pretty good price for some bushings, and they'll last you a very long time. In my opinion, I would recommend Teck Tuning because I've used their bushings for a long time and I've never had any problems with them. But you can get any bushing you like, it just depends on your personal preference and the hardness that you like. But I would definitely recommend this upgrade because it's very helpful. If today's video did help you in any way, please consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell, because my channel has recently been growing due to one of my videos getting 26,000 views, which is really crazy to me, and I am really thanking everyone who watched that video for all the support. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next video.